And, oh, that too. Oh, is that for me? You shouldn't have, really. No, you haven't either. Well, that really steams me up. I think I want to start sawing this table up or something, don't you think? My goodness me. What a nasty surprise. Here you go. Bit further, bit further. Ooh. I feel so much better for that. Yes, these are 1985 toys. Some very nice stuff in here. Even though I've called the second best, but I think there's some that ought to be best. That was a nice one. This is a charming little wind-up toy from that period. This is 1985, so it's 30 years ago. Just a little wind-up tin toy. Got with plenty of plastic on the top too, and there's a little hula girl. She dances, and the base has a little wheel in it, which makes it move around as well. Very cute, very sweet. Goes on a long time. Probably made, I think it said it was in Taiwan or something, this one. So it's certainly an Asian toy, but very nicely done, this. Beautiful. I do like the bit of movement too, which is very sweet. Oh, no, a bit hard, made in Japan. So there's a little wheel at the bottom to make it turn round and round and round and round. I was very, very thrilled to discover in this case something which reminded me of something I showed only 6 months ago, I think it was. This little thing here, I want to show them those together. This is the same toy basically, but it's 25 years apart. So that's mother and that's baby, I suppose. Look at these two together though, unbelievable. So this is battery operated. It's got a battery compartment at the bottom there. Whoops, there we are, batteries inside. It works well, but it is, quite large. Don't have to have very high tolerances. It does the most lovely action. And blow me, 25 years later, they make a tiny, tiny little wind-up doing exactly the same thing with a little micro motor, a little wind-up clockwork motor. So let's do them one by one, shall we? This is the original one, which I had all those years ago. That is a beautiful action. Very, very nice indeed. Whoa! Where's he going to go next? I'll do one more turn and then show his friend. That is such a clever one, and a great delight for kids at that time too. But anyway, 25 years later, some designer comes up with the same thing and miniaturizes it to make this little beauty. And it works exactly the same way. Yeah, but faster speed. So mother and daughter, or father and son, or a mixture of the two. But should do a little bit more than that, that's right. So exactly the same movements. That was an elephant initialized, and this is a performing sea lion, I think it is. So together they make a wonderful pair. That's very nice indeed. Now I started getting these things at that time. They came out little paint cans that looked like pouring, as if they call it. They call it frozen moments, original term for these. I think the Australians invented it. Bit of plastic. And you use the actual paint can here. It's got a space there to put your rubbers and your short pencils and paper clips as well, which is actually meant for the paper clips, but it's got a magnet around the rim here, which I found actually a bit painful, because when you start taking a few out, you've got to get your finger underneath to pull some of the paper clips out. So not very practical. I prefer to keep them in that. But it's got magnets there, so perhaps large paper clips. I don't know what the answer is, but it certainly makes a spectacular appearance on the office table. Say, there's my paper clips. You keep them in a paint can that's suspended on its own pouring. Wow. The biggest soft toy I ever got in the world came out this same year, 1985. I've forgotten what his name was, but look at the size of him. Absolutely beautiful. And well, the kids at parties were counting the number of legs and making them all work with their hands, as kids do, and turning it over. I wish I could have shown them the one they had at the trade fair, because I think the people at the factory had gone mad and made one about 20 foot long, which draped over the whole of the stand, with about 3,000 legs it might have been. But it's a charming idea to have something with all those legs and have it made very soft so kids can stroke it and pet it and look at all the different coloured socks and play with it. It was brilliant. I wish they'd made other versions. I've got a feeling they did make a smaller version, which I should have got at the time, but I didn't. But there we are. But what a piece. Does it say who it is? Hobby's Woes. It's a British company, I'm pretty sure. So a great favourite, that one. The Japanese come up with some lovely stuff, and Kurt Nave's company in Switzerland, which I saw at Nuremberg every year, came up with some examples of them. He went to Japan quite often. This is a wonderful one called City Noi. That means new city. So what was lovely about this is you just lift out this one here, this first one here. It's like office blocks, and then you pull. Look at that. Oh my goodness, a complete new city. A whole street of offices. And what's that? It looks like a carport. No, I don't think it is. But anyway, that's very nicely done. Looks like that underneath. And on the other side, it's also quite cheerful and interesting to look at. But I love the different sizes of them, and the fact they all fit together. Little nail and channels they've got, and then you just slap it together like that. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing, and it packs up so neatly. Look at that. My goodness me. So that was a great, very heavy thing to send to the post from Zurich, but I was delighted to get that from the Curtin stand. Here's a wonderful idea. It's American, of course, it has to be, and it's playing on the old $1 bill with George Washington, and it's a radio. This is because it's getting FM or something, or shortwave. If I turn it on, you need to come up quite close to look at the lips or the tongue, it looks like. I'll turn it on first and set it going.
Is for it to be, you know, the exchange of rhetoric to be as extreme as this, because the Russians say that, you know,
turn it down a bit. You can't. It's hardly, the tongue hardly moves if it's too quiet. So I need to lift it up a bit more.
There were no warning shots. There was merely, you know, Russian military exercises in the area involving naval guns.
I just wish I had a bit of
clearly a lot of
American president
Russian
speaking.
aircraft did fly over.
So a very nice idea. That I've never seen it done before or since. So a talking radio with a little puppet almost doing his stuff. It's George Washington lisping his words at you. Turn it down again, whoosh, and click off. So a little beauty there. Just 4 little AA batteries, and that's away. Here's another one of these ones I'll just be showing, but I love this one as well. It's a drill. I need to drill a hole in the table about here. Yes, all right, let's have a go, shall we? Let's build up the speed. Here we go. No, it hasn't gone through yet. Oh, well, it's disappeared. Must have been magic. And of course, kids can do, yes, and on their hands and all the rest of it, but a bit of fun. But all that happens is you need to push that in, and it drills. That doesn't even turn. Well, it doesn't actually turn when you're doing it. Just pushing it like that. For small children, great fun. As if they're in the workshop with their dad performing. Yeah. These are great fun. They're the sort of thing that drum majorettes use in American parades when they're having these big Independence Days and things. And they're not something I normally would collect, but they're so colourful and cheerful. At that stage, I was doing a lot of children's parties where they wanted to wave their hands around a lot. So I said, wave your hands around one of these in it, like that. And they loved the idea of it, because it's so, and they put it over their heads and all that stuff like that. And I said, now let's have a couple of them. Oh goodness, so they got 2 of them. These must be the real Polaroid, because they're so well made, really strongly made. I've had them for, occasionally one of the pieces comes out, but it's very strongly made, and they've lasted, well, going on for 30 years now. Right over the eyes, and over back, and back, and back, and back. Just very strong, very fine, and I'm very pleased to have those after that time. They still give kids pleasure to play with, because it's so much play value, isn't it? And then we've got an extraordinary thing here, which is actually a magician's trick. And fortunately, they provide you with the way of resetting it. Without that, I'd have trouble, I think. But this is amazing. You've got to put this into here to wind it up. I think that fits in there or something. I've forgotten how it goes, but anyway, I'll sort it out in a minute. And here's the gubbins. It's a reel of plastic. I think it stays in there, actually. Let's just see what I can do with this. Oh, no, it does come out. Here we are. And then what you've got to do is you've got to just open the bit at the bottom there, and it's going to cascade down in silver. Here we go. Are you ready for it? This is beautiful. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. And of course, a magician would turn that into a pile of coins with a wave of his hand. Better than I can do. Astonishing how it goes on, isn't it? But you can see how important it is to have a reset, because that would take hours and hours and hours and hours and hours to wind back in again if one ever could be bothered. There we are. Woof! I better get started, haven't I? I've got the reel, I've got to put this in, I've got to start turning the wheel and see if I can start winding it back up again. And it's got a little handle here, which I've got to find out how to open it. Oh, that's right, the handle starts here, that's right. I've turned the handle here, and it should start winding back onto here again. So let's see if I can do it. It's quite a bother, this, because it's, I think it's just one side, actually. Here we are. Where's an end? Well, I don't know. Somewhere here. Yes. Oh, there we are. That's the end there. This side, no, this side, there. Ooh, that looks like it. No, that's not. Ooh. Oh, well, oh no, there we are, there's an end. So what I'm going to do is got to wind this round to here, the spool, and then just turn and turn and turn. That goes into there like that. Oops, you bend it over, put it through there, and turn it. Which way is it going to go around to turn it? Not sure. It's with a handle. Pull the handle out, there we are. And we start turning. I've got to get this in a little bit further in actually. We've got to, which way is it going to turn if I do this? Oh, that way, okay, let's do it, let's start it. Jump, 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 jump. It begins a bit messy, a bit messy. Let's do that once more. Into there, dear, stay there, don't come out. Stay there, that's right, and then comes around there. Now you're ready to go, here we go. Round and round and round and round and round. Then we've got to see if I can actually wrap it up. Oops, Daisy. Not sure whether that just sits over the top like that or how I do it. Something like that. And I've got to hold that there, pull that back, start turning. Ooh. Ooh, I think we're in business. I think I'm going to just hold it like that with the middle of it. Actually. There we are. Something like that, and it's going to be a little bit of the untangling as we go along. But it takes quite a lot of time to do, but it would take hours and hours and hours to do this without this little device, which is something you use a tape measure. Yes, well, you can leave me with this for a fortnight, I think, because I'll do it by the end of the fortnight. It's a lot of fun, and the end result is spectacular. I've got to find a way of turning it into coins, though. Any ideas?